Hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Strength again, and I'm here to talk to you about your first real assignment inside of advertising. So, one of the things that you will be having to deal with are client briefs. So, with client briefs, we get information this way. This is also how we figure out our research. We don't always remember the details of things if we did it 5 days ago and we're working on six different projects. So this is just a way to kind of get you acclimated to reading the type of briefs that you would be getting. But also, this is going to walk you through the basics of using Canva. Now, we're doing Canva because I know that it's a free platform. It does have a free tier. Canva and Adobe Express are extremely similar, like really similar. If you get into one and you mess around with it and kind of get familiar, you can easily figure out the other one. I've used both. Personally, since I do have an Adobe license, I want to use and abuse that license. I like to use Adobe Express. However, I do have a client that prefers I have everything uploaded or do it inside of Canva. And that is another perk is that you can upload SVG files or PDFs, and it will actually convert a lot of that over. It's not perfect, okay? But these are good platforms for you to know. There are jobs that do want you to do stuff in Canva or use Adobe Express. And because they do have templates, they're a great starting point for things. I will tell you that I hate templates unless I built them myself. One thing to keep in mind with that is that you can take a template, you can open that template, and then at the end of the day, or as soon as you open it, you can actually start editing it so that at the end of the day, it's not even really a template. It is your own personal designs that you set up. And I think that's something really important to keep in mind, okay? So we're going to go ahead. I am setting up my screen over here for you, and we are going to get started. Let me minimize. Okay. So the first thing that you will see is they're going to talk about the client briefs. We're going to look at some. Let me see if I can actually. I know I have one. That's the client brief quiz. So we're going to take a look at a sample brief real quick for a client. So this is where you would have, the client's name, what is the mission, look at their website, their company, find out and summarize to the best of your ability. This is what the company is looking for. This is what they stand for. This will give you some insight as to what colors or icons or symbology you might want to use. Research the backstories. I know it seems dumb, but this is really actually good information to keep in mind. If there are, a very predominant dealing with rich people kind of company, you need to cater to that company. If they are a small startup, then you need to present this idea that's in between a corporation and somebody who just barely is getting off the ground. But most important are the target audiences. These are the things that you guys desperately need to make sure you pay attention to. In advertising, this is everything. These really do matter in terms of how you're going to design something and who is that design going to speak to. So we have age ranges, think children, teens, young adult, middle age, 25 to 35, 55 to 75. They're missing the 36 to 54, but okay, and similar. But this is true. Are you looking at Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Millennials? Are you looking at baby boomers? Are you, like who are you getting to? Are you looking at college educated individuals? Are you looking at undereducated individuals? Are you looking at high schoolers, middle schoolers, these kind of things? So think about that audience as you're working. Gender, this really does matter. Who are you speaking to? If you're working with an LGBTQ plus organization, then you have to think about all the identities of gender that you're working with. Marital statuses. This does actually matter. If someone is single, then showing a couple on the screen probably isn't going to appeal to them as much as, say, a married couple who, oh yeah, we could do a vacation together, that kind of stuff. Or showing, a single person out there meeting people at the bar probably isn't going to appeal to someone who's married. It shouldn't. Cultural groups. And this is really important because you have to think about, is it a white, black, brown, and so on culture that you're trying to appeal to? Is it an African culture, a Caribbean culture? These really do actually matter. Is it a sports culture? Is it maybe a comic book culture, pop culture, things like that? So, think about that individual, and that's going to feed into who you're going to speak to. Income brackets, listen, there's socioeconomics is actually a thing. Low income, middle income, high income, unfortunately. These are really, kind of things that we deal with. And who are you speaking to? If you're dealing with luxury brands, you're not speaking to a lower income or lower class individual. It is good to look at competitors because you don't want to be repetitive or you don't want to accidentally use an idea that they themselves have used. So just do a little bit of research. You don't have to do too much on these, but it does help to see. If it's 7-Eleven, then you got to look at Quick Trip. What's Quick Trip doing better? What's Racetrack doing better? Then you might look at project specifics. And so this is where you're going to look at, so this must be a video advertisement, but can be designed for TV, social media, viewing on cell phones. Choose one, right size. So, if this is something that you're doing as an ad on YouTube, it's going to be specific to that. If this is something that you're going to be doing inside of an app, that's going to change the resolution size too. And versus television and so on. So what's the focus of the ad? What's their slogan, colors? This is really important. Clients do have these things. So I'm not going to sit here and go over it. Well, basically I am. And then client typography, if they have a specific type of font they want to use. And then client logo. Make sure you try to get a vector for that, right? So just keep that in mind when it comes to working with client briefs. So these are, things that you're going to see. And then the next thing we'll take a look at is basically a warm up. And so this is going to get you into Canva. This will help you with designing a piece. I may have these in the backwards order. I do. Okay, so we have the basics here. The basics is actually going to walk you through, and it's going to have you do a sample. Again, if you've never used Canva, this is going to be super informative. If you have used Canva, this will be easy breezy for you, okay? And so you're just creating something quick and simple. This is just so that you're familiar with it. And believe me, once you figure out how to use this, farm life, nice. Once you get comfortable with Canva, it's super quick and easy to make things. But again, this is a lot like Adobe Express. They have very similar user interfaces. This is going to be your client piece. So this is an actual client brief. I say actual, it's for your assignment. It's an actual one for your assignment. And like for example, the age range. Hey, guess what? I'm actually in your age range that you're trying to get to. And I'm single specifically, but I am engaged. So anyways, I want you to read through this so that you better understand your client, okay? Just so you know what it is that you're doing and who you're speaking to, all right? And then you're actually going to go through and this will help you out. You do not do this exact step by step. I want you to add your own elements. You just got a brief. So try to make it your own, okay? Make it look good. Make it appeal to these audiences because you're going to have to do this and then you're going to have to explain your choices in there, okay? So do keep that in mind for this assignment. It's very easy to do. Canva is a tool. There are other platforms that you can use. It is also limited as to what it can do. It is not the same as using Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign. So I do recommend that you still learn these other programs. It's actually imperative for the industry standard that you do. But do please make sure that you follow the directions. Make sure that if you have any questions or concerns that you reach out to me. If you need anything, let me know. Email me, call, set up an appointment. Otherwise, I'll see you in the classroom.